Hello, everyone, and welcome to Button Smash, and welcome to frickin' Rex Manning Day.
Oh, is he a
Rex
shoplifter?
Manning Day? What's
Dude,
that?
Listen,
Sounds like the name of a shoplifter.
that sounds like the name of a shoplifter to me. Also, I'm offended that you had to ask that question, Casey.
I'm being facetious.
Dead to me. Dead
Very
to me.
facetious.
And if you don't know Rex Manning Day, look it up and know what Rex Manning is. All right. Who do we got today? There's only three of us. We can do whatever we want again. Listen, we're going to trash the house. Along with me trashing the house, Mr. TV's Casey.
It's me. I'm here, baby. I've joined the club at last.
And let's see. The guy checking IDs at the door, Jay's Mac.
Yo, I scheduled my my vaccine, guys. I'm already starting to feel the effects now.
It feels good. I feel like I just got 15 years worth of overdue birthday punches.
Oh,
Listen.
you got yours already?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
On Monday.
Sweet.
I'm getting mine tomorrow, and I'm very excited to see what the Skyrim port to my Pfizer vaccine is going to play like. Don't know yet.
Can you
Very
play Doom
excited.
on it?
And sometimes I can play Doom on it.
Nice.
But I'm your host, Doc Chris, and we are going to be talking about what the heck is going on in the world of gaming. And then we're basically just going to let Casey rave about the fact that he finally got a PS5.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Listen, we will continue to rub this in Jay's face forever. But
It's here. My
You know.
precious baby. Oh, it's
it just if you hold this up and then it just falls on the ground, it will be the greatest comedic timing of all forever.
I forgot how heavy it was. I haven't moved it since I took it out of the box. Look at him. Look at my baby.
That's beautiful
How come
Man.
it doesn't come in different colors?
because you haven't painted it yet.
Oh.
This is pretty simple reason.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, guys, let's talk about some freaking news. Obviously, everything in the world got canceled last year. Most things in the world have been canceled this year. Video gaming's biggest conference, E3, they already announced that there wasn't going to be an in-person event, but it looks like they are taking to the tubes. Guys, what's happening with E3 online?
I mean, we're living in Plague World, baby. It's inevitable. Comic conventions are over. The world has changed.
Just when I started to think I wanted to start cosplaying too.
I just wanted to go back and get into it. But here's the good news. Everybody gets to go to E3 and everybody gets to go a faux free because it's a whole online event.
That's awesome. When's it happening?
It is happening June-ish from the 12th to the 15th. I knew it.
June-ish,
I didn't
12th
have
to
to
15th. Nice.
I didn't have to look it up. It is June 12th through June 15th. And all the big boys are in on it. Except PlayStation. But all the big boys are in on it. You got your Nintendo, you got your Xbox, you got your Warner Brothers games, okay? You've got Take-Two Interactive, you've got Ubisoft, you've got Capcom, you've got Konami, and Koch Media. Which, okay, very interesting. But all right. Hey, I guess E3's infrastructure is getting ruined. So
That's like the one con I feel like we can't go to. You know what I mean? Like you got to be so like deep seated into it that you have to be a developer. You have to like really be like a huge publisher to be able. Not that we're not a huge publisher at Rogue Matter, but
We're
I feel
massive.
like to get that badge to get in. You know, I feel like you got to be one of the big boys. But then again,
a bigger boy than
a
the big
bigger
boy that we are.
I mean, we're large men here, but
It's true.
no, you have to be an entity, if you would.
It's true.
So it's good to see them. You know, you guys got to play down to our level now. You know, take that,
That's
E3.
right. Welcome to the lowest common denominator, bitches.
Yeah,
This is what's happening. Is there anything that you are anticipating is going to be announced? Anything you're excited for that we haven't heard about in a bit?
You know, it'd be really
I-
funny if they sorry Casey, but if they came out with just more like Cyberpunk news and like, by the way, Cyberpunk's going to be released again. We're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, but you guys already let the game go. It's out. Like, no, we had more trailers. We had more Night City Watch,
Yeah. Hey, maybe they'll have a good version of PlayStation's, Disney's, Marvel's The Avengers. It could
One
be any
without,
number
like,
of
bootleg
things.
people.
I really don't know. A ton of stuff has been getting pushed back. Like Deathloop just got pushed back. That was a game I was really looking forward to. Again. Not surprising in this climate of delays that we're currently facing. But nobody wants to put out an unfinished product after CD Projekt Red got slammed.
Listen, they half ruined it for everyone, half made life better for everyone, because now they're like, oh yeah, this is what happens when things go off the rails and we make you release things unfinished. But
yeah,
what have you.
I mean, that's like the way of things now, right? Like you got E3 going online, like we got PAX East online. We're all kind of bitter because we're pretty damn close to PAX East here. Nice,
so close.
Very, very quick commute for us. And I was like, it's gonna be online. Like, where am I gonna buy my $9 soda or my like $15 water?
Yankee Stadium, baby, baseball's back.
Oh my god, yeah, baseball is back, man. People are actually allowed to go to games. You see in the Astro, I think it was the Houston Astros, they had full capacity. I'm like,
yeah, it's not a good idea.
You guys serious?
Bad. It's real bad.
Amen.
Listen, right now, was it 4 states account for 43% of the cases right now? Texas, of course, is one of them. You're welcome.
Texas, Florida, Arizona, and California,
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
I don't know
why you got to ruin it for everyone. Whatever. You know what? Way to go, E3. Don't play with fire.
Yeah.
Being online, make it accessible to everyone. That's cool. And of course, this is great because the fact that it's online and free for everyone is wonderful, because there were rumors going around that they were going to actually lock some content behind pricing tiers, which, I honestly wouldn't have blamed them for, to be perfectly, like, I wouldn't have been mad about that. Whatever, that's fine. That's the way of the world. But they were like, no, we're going to double down on this one. Everyone gets the info free. So that is wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool. E3 online, June 12th to the 15th. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Other things that like have been randomly trickling out over the last little bit. The Borderlands movie. Randy Pitchford had a little bit to say about the Borderlands movie. What's going on there?
Well, he made it very clear that the Borderlands cinematic universe, which, slow down there, getting a little too big for your britches. If
You don't even have one movie yet, Randy.
We've got a movie in development with the most wild cast. I still can't believe it's actually happening. But he says it's not identical to the video game universe. They're trying to be as authentic as possible to the character's tone and style, but allowing for independent storylines. Which is also a fun way of dancing around the fact that they recast Claptrap, and they definitely didn't have to.
See, I know nothing about Borderlands, admittedly. I have the games. I have all of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've... Yeah, I think I gotta, if... I know Greg did the team up with you, Casey. If you would like to do the same with yours truly.
Oh, absolutely.
And show me the ropes, we can get that going.
We'll go through it.
I'll do it. I also grabbed it when it was on sale
I'm
a month ago.
itching to play 3 again. We did not get like super far in that. I mean, we beat the campaign, but like I don't consider that super far because there's so much more now, and there was so much more that we didn't explore. Like, I'm very much a no stone unturned kind of gamer, which is great for me now that I have a PlayStation and platinum trophies.
Yeah, but it's also not good for you because of the amount of backlog games that you want to try to cut through.
It is an absolute nightmare.
No bueno.
I got some games you can finish if you'd like.
Yeah,
just like the last 9% of games.
Just send them on over.
I get to 91% of every game, and I'm like, I'm good. This is fine here, and I just put the controller down.
This is fine.
And I just sit in my room.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, first of all, I also don't know much about Borderlands. But the fact that you get like the freedom to that they said that they're not, strictly adhering to exactly what's in the game. I don't see that as a bad thing. Like we saw that happen we see what happened to MCU all the time. Like they have stuff that pays like homage, if you will, to stuff that was in the comics, but they don't adhere to exactly what's there. It gives them the flexibility and creative, know how to do whatever they want, make a freaking fun movie.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
I mean,
Borderlands movie.
I'm super stoked for this movie. I still can't believe it's getting made, and it's a constant reminder that their Illumination is also making a Mario Brothers movie. It's
The Supreme Mario Twins. No way.
Yeah, it's the Mario Twins.
Oh my god.
We just live in very strange times. Like we
Yeah.
got Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog, and they were actually not bad. And now, I mean,
Despite other
everything's-
members of this podcast hating on it, I like both of those movies.
oh yeah,
Give them all the Oscars, all of them.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just want my Last of Us TV show. That's it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. Pedro, let's do this.
That'd be cool.
Okay, moving on. Twitch harassment guidelines. So Twitch actually updated their harassment guidelines to try to cut down on toxic culture that we all know comes from some communities. Jay knows nothing about that. He's never played Rust.
Mm-mm. I don't know any gamer words or anything.
Basically, they updated their guidelines to include, very specific language about like what is acceptable and what is not acceptable around harassment. However, this week they updated the guidelines to also include things that happen off of their platform. So basically, if you if you have or you use hate speech, there is evidence of sexual misconduct and things like that that happens within the Twitch community. Even if that proof comes from something like Twitter or from other mediums, as long as if some of that actually, if Twitch can find a reason that links directly to your channel and incidents that happened on the channel, things also like death threats, threats of violence, threats of terrorism, if it links back to either a Twitch stream, a Twitch chat, or just a Twitch community, they are actually going to be taking action and booting people off the platform. So that's kind of cool that they have found that not just their platform but also other social media platforms, you can't really unlink yourself from all these different places. So many people are all in different areas, and if they're in trouble on one platform, you need to make sure that kind of stuff isn't bleeding onto your platform. I'm all about it. Listen, just don't be a dick.
Yeah,
it's really as simple as that.
We ain't asking for a lot here.
No,
but people got to be a dick, man. I've seen a lot of streamers asking Twitch too for them to find a way to ban or to not let people who are banned watch your stream, right? Because like you'll get a kid who is banned from your stream, from your channel, whatever. They can still watch. Like they should be shut out. Like you got people who are harassing female streamers and well, they're harassing anybody really, but like this one was a female streamer who asked can you please just like find a way to ban whoever's watching, or to not allow whoever's banned to watch the stream, because they're in there, they're saying derogatory things, they're saying like sexist things, they're saying things that are just like awful, and they're still able to watch you. Like fuck, that sucks. It's not cool. Yeah. Like pull the plug on them entirely. If you're gonna ban them, like you should have the ability to pull them, make them go through the process of having to make another username and stuff like that. They'll slip up again, ban them again.
Boom. Keep them off of there.
Yeah.
So always good to see a platform start shutting down the bastards. Love it. All right. Pac-Man 99. What the hell is Pac-Man 99?
First of all, RIP, pour one out for my boy Mario, who died at the end of March. They took him.
Oh.
They took him right off of Nintendo Online Service, Super Mario 35, forget about it. No Mario Battle Royale for you, baby. No Mario All Stars. But in its place, we now have Pac-Man 99, which, as the name might allow, uh, it's just like it's competitive Pac-Man. You eat your pellets, you spawn ghosts and other like I guess mean Pac-Man. What did they call it? Aggressor Pac-Man? Like
Ooh.
Jammer Pac-Man.
Hmm.
You can spawn a Jammer Pac-Man in somebody else's game.
What?
It looks cool, but it also looks weird. I like the idea of, you know, Tetris 99 and all this stuff, but did you guys ever play multiplayer Pac-Man in arcades?
Yeah,
I don't think I have.
Okay, because
the
I
big
thought
giant ones freaking rule.
the big huge giant one.
Oh yeah, the big boys.
Yeah, and I watched the trailer for Pac-Man 99, and I'm like, I've seen this. Like, where have I seen this before? Where it's like you can eat like 50 ghosts in a row, and the maze gets like all crazy and extra bright and stuff. And I'm like, that's like Pac-Man Championship Edition or whatever. It, you know, or I do they even call it like Pac-Man 4P? But it was just I don't know. It was just so weird because the other games like Tetris 99, you've never seen it before. I've never seen a game like Mario 35, but this I'm like, all right. Where's the is there a huge audience for this? Like, are we clamoring for a vintage multiplayer Pac-Man?
I'm into it. I think
Okay.
it's a cool idea. I think there's some people that like that classic gaming. I mean, it's the people that you can't get out of the arcades. Slap a switch in their hands, and now it gets an incentive to come try this out. I think it's a now that we've seen this happen with things like Tetris and Mario, it is a way to get a new give an existing IP new life without having to completely make an entirely new game. Like obviously, it's different, but the mechanics are there. We know what the format of the game is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a cool way. I just there's gonna be a Dig Dug 99.
See, Dig Dug 99 I would get hype about because
Hell yeah.
if you have played any extensive amount of Dig Dug, you know how hectic some of those later levels can be. I can only imagine the absolute nightmare of just all the things on the screen turning into ghosts and floating just all towards you at once while you're losing. And you're just mashing the pump button because you just can't get it. Oh man. You know what? I'm already kind of feeling a little hotched from it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm out on Dig Dug 99. I'm not ready.
I think it's time to bring Dig Dug up to a current generation console and get some like RPG.
99, huh?
Oh.
Just like
yeah.
You get like a whole bunch of ships in a row.
And they just keep throwing bugs at you.
They just keep throwing bugs at you. You get more and more ships abducted. You can just have a whole line of ships along the bottom. Gets real crazy. All right.
I'm on board. I'll probably try this out. Like, why not? I got Nintendo Online. See what it's like. I'm not the greatest at Pac-Man, but
yeah,
we'll see. I tried out Mario 35, so I can make that happen.
Yeah, it was. So why did they get rid of that though? By the way, like, was there any actual reasoning behind it, or
is artificial scarcity a reason?
Yeah, I guess so. It can be.
There you go.
Okay. I mean, I have like a physical copy.
Only for 3D All Stars. Was it like a limited release like that? Since Mario 35 was just an online game you could access and just play competitively. You just pick it up and go.
Yeah.
Totally free. I don't understand why that was a limited time offer. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You could update it like every year, like they do with every sports game, where you might as well just have like roster updates.
Yeah.
Instead of releasing a whole new baseball game every year. But people will buy it. So I mean, what the fuck do I know? I don't know. I thought Mario 35 was kind of cool, just conceptually. Will they do a Zelda 35 maybe? Like they're gonna daisy chain all these, like we'll get a Metroid 35 or a Kid Icarus 35 or God help me, an F-Zero 35. Please let it happen. I need it so bad.
I need it.
There's a lot of abandoned franchises that Nintendo has. And
Donkey
honestly,
Kong 35.
Donkey Kong 35. Yeah.
So many barrels. So many
So
barrels.
many barrels. Actually, I think we're past that because Donkey Kong's older than
Mario.
wait, is it?
Yeah.
Donkey Kong older than Super? Yeah, it is.
Donkey
It's
Kong
older than
is,
Super Mario
yeah.
Brothers. Okay.
Mario
By like
is
a
the
year.
first
I
one,
think
Donkey
just
Kong.
by like a year though.
He was Jumpman.
Yeah.
He was Jumpman.
He was Jumpman.
Jumpman and Pauline.
Yeah.
Two of
I
them
don't
against the
know.
world.
I'm very curious to see like what they do with Zelda because that 35 it's this year's 35 for Zelda, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen much coming from there.
People want a Zelda 3D All Stars. Like I didn't pick up Mario 3D All Stars because I've played those
Ooh.
games all the way through more times than I can count. I have zero interest in replaying
I'll
Galaxy
sell you
or
mine.
Sunshine again.
For the cost of one PS5.
No,
That's a fair trade.
absolutely not.
Hey, the PS5 will come back probably.
Probably
Super
Mario-
Mario All Stars will not.
never. No, you know what? Man has a point. Yeah, I mean, I would look. I would buy the crap out of 3D Zelda because that's what I was raised on. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, two of my favorite games of all time. Wind Waker, excellent. Twilight Princess, also a game.
You don't
As-
like Twilight Princess?
It's fine.
Skyward Sword, your favorite.
Absolutely not. I've beaten that game 4 times, and I can tell you, I don't care for it.
I never played
Why?
that one.
Yeah, it's
Not
okay.
either.
It's
I think I
okay.
only play the major titles that come out. You know, like what would you call them? Like I did play Majora's Mask, but I
The
think,
tent poles.
yeah, right. Like I played like the original. I played Ocarina of Time. I don't know if I played any of them for Super Nintendo.
You never played A Link to the Past?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's a good one.
I heard that's
I
like
have
the best one.
only
Yeah,
I played Link's
I've
Awakening.
only played the first one a little bit, and I haven't beaten it. I actually literally on my Wii U, I actually downloaded like a strategy guide, and I was just
Oh, nice.
following it because I didn't want to miss anything. But oh my god, there's so much stuff in that game. And I've played Wind Waker when it first came out. And I've played Breath of the Wild, but that's pretty much it.
yeah. I've for a long. Here's a tasty little tidbit about me. In high school, I used to run a Zelda website with a couple of my buddies.
Say
on
what?
on AOL Hometown.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yes, I know. It definitely doesn't exist anymore, and it's not on Wayback Machine. I checked.
What?
But I was like whipping up strategy guides for those old things, and there's even a few on GameFAQs under an alias.
Dun, dun, dun.
But
Under
I played
Radio
throughout-
Jones.
yeah, Radio Jones. It's before I came up with a cool internet name, believe me. I've played pretty much all the mainline Zeldas. Zelda 2, although I never finished Zelda 2, A Link to the Past, that and the Game Boy remake, Ocarina of Time, all the versions that have ever been released, Majora's Mask, Link's Awakening and DX, the Oracle games, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass, trying to see if I missed any, Link's Crossbow Training, Skyward Sword, and Breath of the Wild.
God damn.
Yeah,
Hyrule.
Four Swords Adventures, Four Swords.
The
Yeah.
non-tentpole games.
They just keep going. Yeah, I pretty much. I feel like the only ones I haven't played are the old like CDI ones that are just
Yeah.
straight goof material.
Dude, those
And I think-
I've seen those playbacks like from like Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff like
It's
that.
rough, bro.
Oh my god.
It's
It's no
rough.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they exist for like the purpose of YouTube poops, but like as a game, as a visual narrative, sorely lacking.
Mm.
I assure you.
Almost as good as the TV show.
It's about on the same level.
Well, excuse, dude. Link like talks and he's a prick and everything. It's
I
so
can't
weird.
wait to bomb some Dodongos.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Dude, what a gem.
It was the late 80s, early 90s. Like,
Yeah.
it was a time where you could get away with being real cringe, real bad.
Yeah, and I was that kid who was real cringe, real bad. Walking around after I heard him say, "Well, excuse me." Oh, you better believe every time I did something wrong and my parents would scold me, I'd go, "Well, excuse me."
I do
And-
it to my girlfriend all the time. She doesn't understand the reference and she fucking hates it.
And my dad's like, "What are you doing, bud?" Like he's so nice about shit all the time.
That's it.
I'd be like, well, excuse me. He's like, okay,
Excuse me.
just stop.
But yes, if they did a 35th anniversary of Zelda, even though I've bought remakes and versions of those games like at least 4 times over, I'll do it again. I'll do it. I'm gonna out Destiny you with how many versions of Ocarina of Time that I own.
I happen to have 76 of them. I'll sell it to you for the low cost of a PlayStation 5.
Not happening. Well, let me tell you what. Why don't we take a quick commercial break? We'll come back and I'll tell you exactly what you can do to get my PS5.
Okay.
Love it.
With a cape. No, anything.
Yeah.
Cape is always crazy. Cape is always crazy. Look, there are clowns walking the streets right now. We
Right
don't
now.
bat an eye. There is no one dressed in a cape. Rogue Wave Podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and the disruptors behind it. Streaming every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Rogue Wave Podcast, and available immediately following the live stream wherever major podcasts can be found.
We're back. Yeah.
We're back. A dinosaur story.
I have no idea if
Now
that
we're back.
little commercial, if you would had audio to it or not. I forgot to check.
You know what?
But that's okay.
doesn't
That's
even-
just the nature of today's stream, guys.
We're
I'm not
running a
even
little
zooming.
hog wild tonight.
It's up. Yeah.
Listen, speaking of Hog Wild is one of my favorite levels in Crash Bandicoot, which premiered on PlayStation 1. And now we have a new PlayStation out.
We did.
PlayStation 5. Casey, I want you to tell us how hard you have struggled over the last few months, your perils, your journey.
Listen, when you've got, this is when I hit peak desperation, right? Walmart countdowns, 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm at work. I've got my phone out. I've got a Chrome tab open on my phone. I've got a Chrome Incognito tab open on my phone.
Oof.
I got 2 monitors at work because any respectable person in an office environment needs 2 monitors to do their job now.
That's
What
true.
do I got on the left side? Chrome tab, Incognito Chrome tab. What do I got on the right side? Firefox tab, whatever private, I don't remember what it's called, but Firefox also has a vaguely reminiscent of incognito mode, Got one of those. I've got 4 accounts of Walmart opened up. No, 6. I've got 6 accounts of Walmart opened up on all the devices I have in front of me, refreshing like a madman on every page. I've got auto refresh on the Chrome. I'm doing it manually on Firefox because, again, I don't really understand how it works. It's been too long since I used it. I'm trying my heart out every 10 minutes, slaving, hoping that I'm in that queue. I can add it to my cart. And then realizing, like, oh, even if I was successful, my bank would have flagged the transaction because I'm spending $600 in one sitting. But boy, let me tell you what,
Look,
April comes around. I could feel it in my bones.
You ain't
My
no
luck
fool.
has to change. The law of
just like
averages
Teenage
says
Mutant Turtles.
this man must break the curse. Now, mind you, my entire gaming experience up until now, Sega Genesis, then Nintendo 64, every Nintendo system since, every handheld, every subdivision of handheld, every major console, you name it, I got it, and I have since sold it. But I'm like, the world's opening up. I started playing PC games, started doing a podcast with some boys in 2015, started doing a gaming podcast just this past year. I got to jump, man. I got to get a PlayStation. I got to get on Sony's level because there's exclusive games out there that I haven't been able to touch. I thought PC, that'll be enough. I could get everything. But then you start to see Bloodborne's coming out. I played all the Dark Souls games. What about original Demon Souls? Can't play it. PlayStation exclusive, baby. Never played a Spyro game. Never played a Crash game.
Whew.
Never played Ratchet and Clank.
Wow.
Never played Uncharted. That one I maybe could have. No,
Nope.
that's
No.
exclusive too.
Yeah.
Couldn't
No,
have
no.
done it. Thought about it for a second. Couldn't have done it. Ape Escape. Never did it. Why aren't there more Ape Escapes? That's the real question you start asking yourself.
We
But I'm
left the
getting ahead of
90s, that's why.
myself.
Why no Ape Escape?
I've missed out on 27 years of Sony Entertainment publishing games.
Oh,
94? 90, 95?
oh, that hurts to hear.
That's rough. That's
Yeah,
rough.
we're real old.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we're up there.
God.
We are
I
up
was
there. I want to
10.
say, I think 90. I want to say 96. Now I got to look this ish up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crystal Twitch, you probably know this. I'm outsource. Let's see if you can figure out before I do.
Well, I say 94 because
It was probably 94 in Japan.
I've got a reason. I've got a reason for saying 94.
Go for it.
Oh,
April comes. The first
Yep.
week of April. My boy, Luciano, much love. He knows a guy he's got access. Somehow this man has been able to daisy chain PlayStations as the day is long. Some people have all the luck getting it from Target. Me?
December
No.
3rd, 1994, by the way.
Okay.
First PlayStation. And yeah, Crystal Twitch, you beat me to it.
There you go.
Oh,
All right.
95 in the US. So 1995 in the US.
All right.
Anyways,
A
flash
quarter
forward.
of a century minimum of missing these games. All right.
Go on.
April comes. My boy Luciano, he's like, I got the hookup on a PlayStation. All it'll cost you $20 over MSRP. And I'm like, why? It's like cover shipping. I'm like, I'm in. I don't have to pay $700, $800, $900, $1,000 for this. These madness of these scalpers. And sure enough, the day he said, my boy's got it, I sent him the money. He brought it over to the store. I picked it up from the UPS store. I brought it home, traveled all the way from New Jersey to my parents' house in Queens. Okay. I made a sojourn to get this thing, a journey, if you will. And I brought it home, and then I didn't play it for 2 days because I got bogged down with work and other commitments. But I had it. I secured it. And I just kind of cradled the box for a little bit. It was so good. It was huge. Why is it so big?
is it
Massive.
gigantic?
It's huge.
It's definitely the largest system I've owned.
I don't think there is a system that's larger than it, though.
It's half the size of my computer tower, and I have a big
Right.
beefy boy.
I'll have to check it out. My brother-in-law's got one, and my nephew's got the new Xbox.
Yeah.
And I saw how big that was. I was shocked at how big the Xbox.
Dude, Xbox is pretty massive. However, that being said, it still like tucks away in a relative like silhouette of
'Cause
the
it's
Xbox
thick.
One.
They made it
Yeah.
a square.
Yeah.
However, the PlayStation is basically its own piece of furniture in your house. It is
I don't-
massive.
Anyway, I got it, and I got the disc version because I
You hear?
knew I would need a Blu-ray player because my girlfriend collects a lot of DVDs. Not me. Physical media, it's over. But secured.
All right, let's start with what have you played on it so far?
I've only played one thing, unless you count the store, which is very fancy. It looks real nice. Like I'm only used to Steam and the Nintendo eShop, and this has got like fancy graphics when you change the pages. So it's already a step up. But look, I fired this thing up, and just everything fading in, even setting up my account was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, I had a PlayStation account from when I borrowed a friend's PlayStation 4 very briefly. He tried to get me into Call of Duty, and I was not having it. But apparently, the username stuck, and it was still there. So I have some strange miscellaneous trophies in that list.
Nice.
Regardless. I fired it up. The first thing I did was I made sure to get PlayStation Plus because free games, and I caught it pretty much at the tail end of when they were getting rid of Final Fantasy VII for free.
Nice.
So I managed to scoop that up, and something else. I don't know. Either way, that was what was important. The only game I've successfully managed to play on this, and I've already managed to platinum, which I'm a little sad that the ride's over, was Astro's Playroom. Sure, you might say a glorified tech demo, but me, a truly mind-blowing immersive experience. Now, I've had very few experiences where I've touched a video game and it really kind of knocked my socks off. The only real time of note I can think of holding a system in my hand and being like, wow, is this really happening? Was when I touched a 3DS for the first time and I played Star Fox on it with the 3D on.
Oh,
It was weird.
I hear that is like basically the best demo for the 3D. That like no other game does it quite as good as Star Fox did.
Well, Kid Icarus Uprising did it pretty good.
Okay.
I will give it that. But I my first experience to it, I went to the Nintendo store in Manhattan. I don't remember if I was working there at the time.
You worked at that Nintendo store?
No, I mean in the city.
Oh.
I should have clarified. I was working in Manhattan at the time. I went to the Nintendo store. They had them out on display to try, and I was just completely blown away. And I'm like, I walked out of there with it. I'm like, I need to buy this right now. When I played Astro's Playroom, just the feel of the controller, because the game starts out before you even really like play and get into it and do like a walkthrough tutorial, they have you just kind of like test out all the buttons.
Mhm.
They're like, look at this DualSense controller. Like, look at all the things it can do. It's got a touchpad. It's got a microphone. It has 2 sticks and several buttons. You know, all the things you might expect from a controller. And I know everybody's getting hype over like the extremely pressure sensitive L2 R2. And haptic feedback is absolutely wild.
It's nuts.
Playing this drove me crazy. And the developers of Astro's Playroom are nothing short of geniuses, in my opinion, because they put you in every environment where you would feel a very different tactile sensation. There's just a level where it just starts raining. And I was like, do you feel the little
Mind
droplets?
blowing.
It's
nuts.
It truly needs to be experienced for yourself. Like, I don't think, kids playing this, 15, 20 years from now will probably have their Ready Player One headsets and like full Johnny Mnemonic like suits or hand equipment, whatever.
But it all starts here.
It all starts here. Like this,
Yep.
This was truly something else. Like, and like overall, just a really cute, adorable game. You get to watch.
It's a very PlayStation-ass game. Like like when I say a PlayStation title, like those PlayStation games have a very specific feel to them, and like this is definitely like Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, even like Gex Enter the Gecko. Like playing those games, you have a very specific feel that you get when you're playing about how those characters move, how those characters jump, how those characters interact. And this definitely has that similar control as well.
And I mean, what makes it like the most PlayStation-y of PlayStation games is every collectible in this game is a PlayStation peripheral.
And they're all hilarious, or most of them are hilarious things you never freaking heard of.
There's so many, like
the network extension for the PlayStation 2. Is that one of them?
Yep.
Yeah.
My sister bought that for me, so I could play GTA online.
There was a GPS connector for the PSP.
Oh.
Apparently, don't know where in the world that was released, but it was a thing. And that is one of the collectibles that you can get.
They also had a thing that's like the PlayStation version of like Pokemon Pikachu. It's like a little like tiny handheld like device that's like egg shaped.
Oh yeah.
And they had like stuff that's like the tiny little inserts that you would put in the Dreamcast controller.
Yep.
Oh, I remember those.
Like weird stuff like that. Like it's so odd and so bizarre. But the way that it's set up is like you just have this little PlayStation museum where everything is like huge and scaled up because you're a tiny robot, presumably inside your PlayStation 5. All the levels are themed after stuff that's inside. Like you have a whole cooling area. You've got your solid state drive area. Just like it looks great.
It's charming.
It feels great. It's very charming.
It's very charming.
I want them to I almost really want them to do more with it. Like I understand that it's like a glorified tech demo.
But the same thing was true with
it's fun.
That's Astro's, like it was like rescue mission or something like that. They used that as the tech demo for the PlayStation VR.
Okay.
And it was a very similar thing that at the time that was released, there was a very limited amount of games you could play. And many people are like, this Astro's rescue mission thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, how could that really be awesome? And same thing, like Booster Greg even told me, he was like, dude, you have to, when you get a PS5, you have to play Astro's Playroom. I need you to play it because you specifically will love this. And I was like, all right, it's going to be okay. I had so much fun playing this game. Sweet. It was great.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel, it's while parts of it, feel kind of like a tech demo in that it's a walkthrough, but it is like way more substantial. It feels way more substantial and you feel more satisfied by the time you're done with it. That you don't feel like cheated, like it's a demo disc that came with it.
I got a solid couple of hours in it, but my honest to goodness favorite thing about it other than just the pure sensation of playing it, seeing all the little robots dressed up as these famous PlayStation characters.
Oh, hilarious.
The best.
Yep.
I think the Crash Bandicoot one was my favorite because he was doing the little end of level dance, which I think everybody loves. But I didn't know all of them. I made a real like concerted effort to look up and familiarize myself with some of these, but a lot of the ones I
Mhm.
caught were a lot of the old ones, like Alucard coming out of the coffin, Solid Snake in the
Mhm.
box, you know,
Nice.
a couple of things like that. But it was just a really charming, really good time. And I'm glad that it's my first exposure really to any serious amount of PlayStation playing. It's
All
great.
right. So with that being said, that's what came on there. That's what we've played so far.
Yeah.
So coming up for PlayStation 5 titles that are releasing this year, what do you got your eyes set on?
All right. So I've already picked up a couple of games that I've got in my pocket.
Now
Um,
I'm saying for PS5
upcoming-
games, we'll get to some of the backlog there of stuff that
Okay.
was released previously, but I'm talking about stuff that's coming down the pipeline.
Okay. Well, for me, stuff that's coming down the pipeline that is PS5. I don't know if this is technically backlog, but I'm dying to play the Demon Souls remake.
I would say that counts.
Okay,
That counts.
that counts.
I'll
All right.
give it to you.
I don't know if I'm allowed. You know what? No, I could say whatever I want. This is my show. Totally
it.
fine.
Hit it.
Resident Evil 8. I am absolutely dying for giant vampire mommy.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is surprised by that. There's zero people that are like, "Oh yeah, Casey's." No, that's surprising.
No,
No,
I
no,
mean,
into
I'm
it.
following the memes. I've seen her block Shaq all day. All right. I'd never played 7. I would have liked to, but this one is just on like a whole nother level. I should probably go back and play the other one just to familiarize myself with how it works, because it's different from the other Resident. The only Resident Evil I really played is 4, and I played it on GameCube
Mhm.
way back,
Hmm.
even though it's on every system now. Pretty
That's
much.
Nemesis, right? Or no?
No, Nemesis
No,
is
no, this one was just
3.
called Resident Evil 4. 3
Oh, okay.
was, yeah.
3 was
Yeah.
Nemesis.
you
I would
fight
say
a tiny little Frenchman or Spaniard. He looks like Napoleon, whatever. And like,
so. Casey, you should play the demo for Resident Evil 8 Maiden,
Okay.
because apparently it's its own standalone thing where it ties into the world, but it's not like a part, not like other demos that we've seen before, that it's like a part of the game. And I
Okay.
think they did the same thing with Resident Evil 7 as well. So I played that, and I was so interested in the way that it controlled and the way that it felt in the whole environment. I went back and started playing Resident Evil 7, and I am enjoying it. I still have to go back and revisit it, but would recommend.
I'm kind of a big baby when it comes to being spooked, though. I like suspenseful things, but I really do not do well with jump scares, which sucks because that's like the only way that people try to scare you now.
Yes, welcome to video games.
Yeah, welcome to video games. I played about 15 minutes of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I'm like, no, I'm good. No.
All set. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Alan Wake also scared the crap out of me. For as you know, halfway through that I got through that game. I'm not really about it, but darn it, I will do it. I'll do it for.
I still
Lady
need to finish that
Dimitriescu.
as well.
Yeah.
But
What else is coming?
so I'll tell you, for me, the big stuff, obviously the first number one thing, Ratchet and Clank's coming out in June.
Yep.
Rift Apart, super stoked for that. And then the other giant titles that we're looking at, God of War Ragnarok, and the Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West.
Kena Bridge of
Oh, yeah.
Spirits. I remember we all got a little jazzed about that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks pretty
thankfully
cool.
that's not an exclusive, so I'll
Yeah.
actually get to play it.
Is
'cause
it
don't have
not?
a
I thought
That
it
was not an exclusive.
coming out
no.
on PlayStation as well, or the Epic Store. But I mean,
Yeah.
geez,
Okay.
PlayStation, no, PC.
Too many P's.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So that's what you got coming. That's what we got coming up. Let's talk about so basically every PS4 game, not this with very few exceptions, is playable on PS5, and we were talking off chat as well, where a lot of kind of big titles from PS3 and PS2 days are also available to play through PlayStation Now,
Yeah.
which I may actually check out just to see kind of how well that works, because why not? What do you think in some must plays from like the last, let's say like the last 10 years or so?
God of War is probably number one on my list. No, number two. Bloodborne is number one on my list. I've been a huge fan of the Souls series. I got all the achievements in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I got all the achievements in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I have run through those games so many times. I love them to death. So it's always been a huge sticking point for me that I've never been able to play Bloodborne, which people say is far and away the best one. I played it a little bit at Greg's house, and I had the time of my life, but you can only spend so much time on a man's television before he's like, you don't live here, please leave. The convention's over, you can't stay here anymore. And I've never even for a second touched the original Demon Souls as a PS3 exclusive. Even if I had gotten a PS4 late in the game, I may have been able to do it then. But by the time I was thinking about doing that, they were already talking about the remake and the PS5. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just play the newest version. Apparently it's kind of a warts and all remake, which fine for me. Like I don't really want like the challenge of it to be much different than it was, but I wouldn't mind graphical and glitch polish as always. So that's up there. The Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. Never got to play Crash on PS1. Dude. So
I will tell you, as someone who's played so much Crash Bandicoot, the Insane trilogy is really freaking good.
Yeah.
One of the biggest sticking points about that first Crash Bandicoot game was the fact that you couldn't save unless you got you beat the level without dying or got like all the boxes or something. Basically, there were things you had to do in the level to complete it, to prompt them to save, to get the save. So there were very few instances where you couldn't just save whenever you wanted, which was like very difficult.
And there were big load times.
Yeah. Insane trilogy, you can save whenever you want. Huge quality of life improvements. And oh my God, it feels so good and everything looks so friggin' beautiful.
Yeah. And with that, Crash 4, although I hear that game is an absolute completionist nightmare where you pretty much have to clear every level 6 times, which, you know what? I did it for Mario 3D World. How hard can it be? He says before tearing his hair out.
It's actually probably, I think 4 times, because actually I went back and was trying out the PS5 version of Crash 4.
Okay.
So you have to beat it once as you're going through. You collect Wampa fruit, it fills up a gauge, so you have to fill up like the 3rd tier of the gauge. So that's like one way you have to do it. So that's like 3. So that's 3 gems there. 1, 2, 3 different tiers. Then there is getting all of the boxes in a level. That's a 4th one. And then I believe the 5th one is every level has a hidden gem.
Yep.
As well. And then the 6th one is then a speed run.
Is it basically the speed run or like the wacky inverted ones where they
speed run?
Okay.
So that's just to play the level the regular way. So that's 6 ways to do it, and you can do basically everything up with the exception of the speed run in one shot if you're really good. Then each level also has the inverted levels as well, which has the same thing where there is all the different tiers of the fruit, all of the boxes, hidden gem, and speed run, all in one shot,
and multiple characters.
Yeah, and different things you can unlock, and also there are hidden tapes that unlock hidden levels as well. So
secret videotapes like in Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
secret video.
Yes. Tape.
Well, it is not a surprise that Activision and Beanox are the ones that put out these games. So, just saying.
Maybe someday. I don't know. I mean, another huge one, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know me. I love comic books. Love them.
Dude, you got to play Persona 5.
Yeah, they're like the Phantom Thieves are pretty much all dressed up like superheroes.
Yeah.
And they fight dream crimes.
And the cool thing is
they do fight dream crimes.
If you are getting a PlayStation 5 and you have PlayStation Plus, there actually is a collection of a bunch of PS4 titles that you just get for free. It's just the PlayStation Plus collection. And Persona 5 is one of those titles, as well as Resident Evil 7, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Insane trilogy is on there as well. Like there's a ton of stuff that you get for free.
I did get the Insane trilogy from PlayStation Plus by itself. So maybe it's probably further down that menu and I just didn't see it. But as
Yep.
soon as I saw it, I'm like, snatch it up, grab it.
Check out the
Um,
collections menu. One thing I will say about the menu, it actually kind of reminds me of the PS3 menu, except it loads way faster and looks nicer. But the way that everything kind of floats around,
I like that though.
yeah, is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Although the fact that the store is kind of integrated into there, sometimes I'm like, wait, all of a sudden I'm in the store, but it like looks like the regular main screen, and it's interesting. But cool. So upcoming titles, backlog of recent titles. Jay, what do you got on your list of like things of like must plays for PlayStation titles?
It's really Final Fantasy 16. That's it. So in a month or so, Casey, I will trade you one Super Mario All-Stars to just borrow your PlayStation. My ask has come down. No, I'm sure there'll be more. You know, I want to play God of War. I ended up buying God of War when it came out on PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
And I haven't played it yet. I got you want to talk backlog?
Dude, you got a rough backlog.
I'm a mess because I have addictions to just the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't have addictions to certain genres or like drugs. You know? I have addictions
well, thank goodness for that.
to Rust and anime about boys volleyball and anime about two brothers trying to revive their dead mom. So that's what I watch and
Alright.
consume.
That's cool.
Yeah. I have a
What
lot.
about, so that's your recent backlog. Let's talk about so obviously like a lot of these games, there have been updates, there have been revamps, there are ways to play it like on there. Let's talk about like some early PlayStation games. Like what are some best, even like PS1 defining, when you think of PlayStation 1 when it first came out, like what are some of the defining games?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
I mean, I remember playing that game and being like, "Wow, you can see his footprints in the snow when he's running." You know,
Yeah.
like that was crazy. And like he has no face. His face is a
It's a schmear.
yeah. He has no face. But I'm like, whoa. And you
There's
know,
something about the way he moves though is like
it's very
unlike-
fluid. It's
yeah, unlike anything I'd played before.
oh, absolutely. He doesn't move like he's made out of polygons. He moves like a human being in the game. But yeah, man. I mean, it goes back to that old meme now. It's like, man, graphics are not going to get any better than this. You know what I mean? You see like the golden eye, like their hands are blocks and they're like, this looks so good. And then like you get into a game like Rust where it looks like you're actually running on the beach and you can't tell. I actually sent a picture to my dad. I was like, hey, is this real life or a video game? I need you to play this game with me. And he's like, oh, that looks like Vancouver. Then I was like,
Yep.
it's not.
It's Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh
But-
man.
Yeah. He's like, oh no way. He's like, this is real. I was like, no, it's not real. It's not.
Yeah.
That's the best part. So it's fun. It's a
Yeah,
new game
I've
that I'm playing.
never played the original Metal Gear. I played Twin Snakes. I never played Metal Gear Solid 2. I've wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 3 for years.
Snake Eater. Oh,
Years.
What's
What a
the
game.
fourth one?
Guns of the
Four-
Patriot.
Guns of the
Guns
Patriots.
of the Patriot. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's when Solid Snake's the old man.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Who looks like my dad. So it's awesome. It's almost uncanny. It's really weird.
Otacon. Why do I look like Jason's dad?
Yeah. The lolly
and
move
then-
low.
And then
Oh.
5 I could have played on PC, but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, Phantom
Jump
Pain.
into 5. Yeah. Or Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes was like the prelude to Phantom Pain.
Mm.
Um,
When I think of like classic PlayStation, I'm all about like the cartoony ass platformers. So I'm of course I've already talked about like Crash Bandicoot. I'm thinking Spyro, Jersey Devil, Ape Escape back in the day, but really I just played the friggin' demo.
The
Medieval,
demo disc.
Medieval was a good one. Tomba, man, I love my
What about Croc?
Croc. Croc was okay. I played a little bit of Croc. I think I rented that for a little bit. And you know, some of these titles they've redone, like the Spyro remastered trilogy is also really fun. It
what
is
about
not what
Parappa
I
the
call
Rapper?
difficult.
Is
Parappa
Parappa
the
the
Rapper.
Rapper available on PlayStation now? I
I
might
have
have
no
to.
idea.
It
Parappa
has
the
to
Rappa
be.
2, they did a HD remake
Remastered. Yeah.
Just
Remaster of it.
2? Oh, I
Just
gotta have
2.
me some Chop Master
I know.
Onion.
I always feel weird when I am coming into a series like late in the game, like not playing from the beginning. Is anyone else? Do any of you guys feel like that? If you haven't played like the entire series, you feel like
Yeah.
you can't do it.
Wait, say that again. So if
now,
you didn't start
now
like
I
on
do.
release,
I
or
didn't
like,
used to.
So like
you can't pick up on the third game.
like I can't pick up
Okay.
on the third game. Like when I went and played. So before I worked myself up to playing the 2017's God of War,
Yeah.
I went back and I played all of the other God of Wars. I had only played a little bit of the first one. Like I felt like I couldn't. I was like, I need to play all these games leading up to this point.
Yeah, if the game's linear, for sure. If the game's not
Mhm.
linear, like your Personas, your Final Fantasies and stuff like that, like no way I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, God of War, like I feel like that's probably part of the reason why I haven't started it. It's really not. I'm lying to myself. But yeah, it's like I do feel that. Like when I went to play Uncharted, right? A friend of mine, she was like, "Yo, you got to play Uncharted. These games are really good, but you got to go and like do the PlayStation Now thing that you can like play all of them, you know, for like the trial." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And for some reason, I don't think I was playing Uncharted 2, or I was playing Uncharted 2 instead of the first one. And I was like, "No, I can't do this. I have to go back and play the other one." But it wasn't available for some reason, or I didn't have it. It was something weird. But yeah, I felt like I needed to go through and play that because that I feel like is a linear like story. So
Yeah, kind of.
if it's a story, yeah, you have to play it from the beginning.
I don't know much about God of War, the latest
Mhm.
one, which is why I'm really excited to play it. But I hear that it's mostly a soft reboot with like the sort of occasional callback to the previous trilogy.
Yeah.
Is that it?
You
Oh,
don't
so-
have to play all the other ones. As someone who went back and played all of the other ones, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I'm glad I did, like knowing
Yeah.
the video game history of it. But as far as like you will not enjoy the game any less
Okay.
playing like this what you picked up of zeitgeist of God of War, just in the ether, people talking about it is enough to know like the whatever callbacks that you're gonna see
Yeah.
in the game.
I feel like a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, by the way, you have to play that first one and then go and play this next one that's coming out.
Oh yeah, I mean,
critical story that
that's
like-
one of the freaking best stories, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Yep.
I love that game.
Yep. What a weird. Yeah. I don't even want
Also
And-
available on PS Now. Man,
Yeah,
I'm getting my money's worth out of this. I'll tell
dude,
you.
there's a lot on PlayStation now.
All
I
the
think-
infamous games. I mean,
Infamous. I
Yes,
forgot I even
pretty
played
good.
that.
Recommend.
That's a game I beat
Ah.
when it first came out. That's a game I actually finished.
Wait, which one? The first one or
Second Sons.
Second Sons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you also don't have to play the other Infamouses
No.
there. Although they are
Infamy.
very good. They are very good. And especially if you like the Spider like the Insomniac Spider-Man.
I'm like the anti-completionist now that I think of it.
you just buy games and maybe you'll play them.
I gotta have like when I play a game, it's really got to be a story that sucks me in for me to finish it all the way through.
Yeah.
See, that's why Steam's great, man. You can return it if it sucks, you know? But I forget. And then you play for more than like 90 minutes and you're locked in
Yes.
forever.
You own
Like
this
some
now.
games tutorials aren't even 90 minutes. Like they're like 3 hours,
true.
you know? I'm still
Yeah.
in the tutorial for Rust. I'm 2,000 hours in. I haven't figured out if it's good or not.
Crystal Twitch in the chat is throwing in GTA 1 and 2 for
No,
original
absolutely not.
PlayStation. You
Some-
got to start with 3.
No.
Top down, dude.
Those are real rough.
I remember when my cousin had that on a computer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't know what I was doing in that game. He's like, "Oh, go run these people over," and I was like, "Okay, I'm just running over dots, basically, because it's just...
Pretty much. All right. So we look forward to Casey playing some hot PlayStation games
so
and
ready.
getting back to
Hell
us
yeah.
on where he's at. You got friggin' years of games to play already at your fingertips. I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah, me too. My Switch is just gonna collect dust. My
Yep.
poor Animal Crossing villagers.
You're all gonna die.
R.I.P. fellas. That's it. We had a good run. You lasted a whole year, but now I've switched teams. I feel like a new
Send them
man.
to the volcano,
You should.
man.
That's it.
So let's I know Casey, you talked about playing Astro's Playroom. Jay, what have you been playing lately?
I played a
into
little
what
bit
we're
of
playing.
Genshin Impact this week.
A little more back at it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't remember what my login information was for the first time I played
Oh no.
the beginning.
So
I
you
didn't
start
get
over
far. What's that? I didn't get far, so it doesn't matter. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, I was like, okay, I'll boot it up again. So I think I used my actual email because I'm pretty sure this game's gonna steal my information. But whatever.
100%.
But yeah, I popped in and it's me dunking on it a couple of times about it being like a total clone of Breath of the Wild. Like, yeah, like the exploring the wilderness definitely, and like the mobs and stuff like that. Okay, very much Breath of the Wild, but the story is kind of interesting, honestly, and I'm excited to kind of play through the rest. But there is a lot of like gotcha moments where you have to like either buy like these upgradable gems and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'll just play until I'm annoyed a little bit, and then I'll stop and go back to Rust.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I played a couple little things. I just want to touch on them. One of which, Oddworld Soulstorm, which is one of the PlayStation Plus free games of the month.
Nice.
We'll talk about some of the other ones as well. I played a little bit of that. I've never played an Oddworld game before, and again, I'm feeling like, oh my god, I feel like I should go back and play the other ones because
Don't do that to yourself.
I don't know. I wanted to get a little taste. It looks pretty. It plays like a 2D platformer. Actually, some of the controls do feel a little bit dated on there. But I don't know. It looks pretty. It's kind of what I expected so far. Monster Hunter Rise came out recently, but there is a free demo. I wanted to try it out because I spent a little time with Monster Hunter World, and this game basically feels like Monster Hunter World, but just the graphics scaled down. Is pretty much what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, like I just was playing it. I was like, man, I really wish I was just playing Monster Hunter World where everything looked a lot prettier. But what have you. And I've actually I've been up late the past few nights, and I've gone back to the Amplitude from I think 2015, which is a rhythm game that is friggin' amazing. And I will say that like I'm not great at video games, but this is one game I'd like destroy at.
I saw your like world ranking, dude. It is up there.
Yeah,
I couldn't even complete the song. And
I'm
you're
in
up
the top. I'm in the top 3,000s of probably the million people that play the game.
Good God.
Yeah, I actually started playing through a mode called Super. So there's different levels, just like Guitar Hero. Easy, normal, expert, or hard, expert, and then if you beat expert at a high enough level, you unlock super. And basically, as you're playing the game, if you're hitting notes and you're trying to kind of jump to each track without missing a note, and if you mess up, you lose this little power meter. And when the power meter gets all the way to the end, the level's over. But there are things like there are checkpoints. If you hit the checkpoint, they restore some of the power. But with super, the super mode, what it does is you actually don't get any more power up. So like it's basically you have a finite amount of times you can mess up, and there's no getting your basically health back. And it is difficult, but it is fun as hell. And I've been trying to beat some of like my lower score songs, raise that up through there. But like in the past week I've moved the needle by about like 500 people, by like 500 places by crushing it. Anyways, I have fun playing Amplitude. I really wish they would do a follow-up. And I know this is like a Kickstarter, probably one-time only thing, but dear Harmonix, please make me another Amplitude.
Please.
I would love it.
It's going to be hard for them to do that now, man.
I know. Upset. Anyways, that's what we hadn't been playing through. You guys want to tell us what is free this week?
What's free?
Yeah, start off with PlayStation Plus. Tell me about what we got for PlayStation Plus.
Well, you already said
Oddworld.
Soulstorm. Oddworld Soulstorm.
Sandstorm.
There is Days Gone.
Nice.
Which is something Greg has told me to look at for a whole bunch. Zombie Army 4 Dead War, which
everybody's favorite game.
It's free. Go get it.
Yeah.
And on Epic, 3 out of 12 season 2. No, 3 out of 10 season 2.
Did you add the season 2 to the
He
10
added the 2 to
your
the
brain
10.
just broke.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't. You know what's funny? I'm not like I'm looking at it like why can't I read this on my screen? And I'm like, oh wait, I'm not wearing real glasses.
Oh, that's why. Also, what a weird name for a game. 3 out of 10 season 2.
It's no Kingdom Hearts chain of whatever 355 over 2 days.
Yeah.
That really takes the naming convention.
Hold on a second, Casey. Are you not wearing lenses in those glasses?
I'm not wearing lenses in these glasses.
Oh, I'm just realizing now that there's no reflection.
Yeah.
There's no
I feel
glare.
lied to.
Yeah.
Listen,
I was
you
too
just dropped
cheap
a
to buy.
bomb.
I was too cheap to buy the anti-reflective glare and it looked really stupid the past couple of times I've done it on a podcast. So I just thought, oh, what if I just pop the lenses out of a pair of glasses? Because, you know, it's fundamentally my look. We don't need to know
That's
this.
fair.
We'll cut this.
Okay.
It's fine.
That's,
We're
you
not.
know,
We're gonna leave it.
Leave it in.
Casey's a fraud.
Cool.
thanks. I may be a fraud, but I'm a fraud with a PS5.
Oh no,
That's true. And with that, that is all the time we have for this week. Remember, if you're joining us late, you can always find us on video on demand, posted on YouTube or on Twitch, or you can listen to the full episode in amazing HD sound quality wherever you listen to podcasts. We will see you next time, or we will see you another time.
Night.